Hi. So, guys, this is something that I believe we should all talk about, and that's the reason why I'm really calm saying this. I've had many conversations and many podcast episodes about discovery of purpose. I've also talked about this at different events and programs that I have been invited to speak. One thing that I have come to realize is there seems to be this common question among the various platforms that I have been privileged to climb. And that question is not just even what is purpose, but this question is how can I differentiate between what it is that I can do to make more money and what it is that I'm called to do that can give me money? Because most people are confused. Some people think that what it is they're called to do, and by what it is they're called to do, I'm referring to what it is God has called you to be. So most people confuse what it is God has called them to be almost as though they cannot make money from it. And this is very, very confusing for a lot of people because sometimes they feel what God has called them to do is just voluntary service. And most people do not understand that in voluntary service, there are different ways we can balance it. I think ultimately one of the reasons why we're recording this is because we want to enlighten ourselves on how we can make money from what it is we are called to do. The conversation today that people have is not what it is that I can make, what it is that I can do to make money. I think the conversation we should have is what it is that God has called me to become that I can make money from. That's a very, very important question that we're going to be having while we're talking about this. Something that is really essential for every individual who is in this space to know is that on the venture of me discovering my purpose, how to monetize my purpose is something that is really important because finding it is one, understanding it is another, how to begin is another, and also how to monetize it is something that is really essential. And this is the reason why I say this. We find random people going into different spaces saying, I want to go into this space, tech space. I want to go into the real estate space. I want to go into the cosmetic stage or space. And you ask them why, and they tell you because they want to make more money. In my opinion, I believe money is easy to make, but fulfillment is not easy to have. Fulfillment would only come when you truly step into the space that God has called you to be in and you make money from there. That's the only space that you will find fulfillment. Otherwise, we will just make money and there will be no fulfillment. And I know someone would say, who cares about fulfillment? I want to make money for my kids, for my generation. But here's the real deal. I believe that one has to become more mature to come to the realization that the existence of life is not just to make money, but to make impact that would last in the sandprint of time. And why I say this is very essential because money is the least thing that you and I should worry about on how to make, because money calls or answers to where there is value. So if there's no value in a place, you don't find money there. So what I'm basically saying here is this. In the bid for us to look for how to make money, how about we make money in the place that God has called us to be? Now, someone might also ask me, you're talking about how or discovering your purpose. This is one conversation that I think a lot of us must really listen to. Discovering your purpose. How do I discover my purpose? Of course, God put your purpose in a place that only you can find it. And that is you. And the reason why he did that is because so that it to be easy for you to access. But some people are finding their purpose outside of them, whereas they do not know that the purpose lies inside of them. The reason why purpose lies inside of you is because without purpose, you would have no essence. And without your essence, there would be no you. That would mean that without your purpose, you would not exist. Let me put it in a better way. God saw a problem on the earth and decided to create you. If the problem never existed, you would not be here. So what I'm basically saying is, there's a reason why you are here. There's a reason why you need to be here. And until you find that reason, you have not started existing. This is so important. And when we understand this, when we come to this realization, we must now know how to make money from what it is we are called to do. Until you find that, until you unlock that method on how to make money from what you're called to do, you just find yourself venturing from one space to the other, from one space to the other, and you make money, but you would really find no fulfillment. It's not far from what you see some men at the age of 75, 62, 82, and then they say they have come to a point where they have built empires, they have built money, old and new money. But one thing that they have not tapped into is fulfillment. I'm going to leave you with this, and this is really important. I read a book by A.W. Tozer, and the book is titled The Presence of God. An absolutely amazing book, and I think you should get it for yourself. A.W. Tozer emphasized in that book that there is, you know, those nursery boards that have the circles, the triangles, and the squares, and then you have the build circle. You try to put it where it fits. So you cannot put circle in triangle, and you cannot put triangle in circle. So what he emphasized was that there's a hole, there's a space in the heart of every man. Every man is on a quest in their lifetime to fill that space. But what they do not know is that that space was created by God for him to fit in. So what most people try to do that they call pleasure is trying to fit in money, fame, influence into that space that is meant for God. So in that pursuit, they constantly face unfulfillment. So what am I saying in essence? I think fulfillment is something you should pursue rather than just chasing after money. Because imagine this. Think of yourself at your last breath, or the final seconds before you leave this space called Earth. And imagine all the things you have accomplished and just measure it with fulfillment. If that works for you, if you see that you have achieved something without fulfillment, then there's a problem, because I feel you would not have that feeling. I feel this is something you should listen to over and over again as it blesses you. Cheers, guys.